The arrival of autumn brings changes right across the park. And with it come plenty of opportunities for the primate care team to give their charges more unusual enrichment. The gardening team have been busy with seasonal jobs, including cutting and pruning back plants ready for the winter. These gigantic gunnera leaves have just been cut down, and rather than let them go for compost, the orangutan team have a plan. They're going to offer them up to Tuan's group of 6.
We'll see what they do. I think they're going to really enjoy it. I think Tuan will probably start eating it. If it starts raining a bit later, they might even use it as a little bit of an umbrella for themselves, as they do in the wild, because orangutans are very cleverly one of the only apes that will actually make a roof over their heads when it's raining in the rainforest. So usually use some big leaves or something like that to do it with. So yeah, we'll see how they go. I think it's going to be quite exciting for them.
Related to the rhubarb plant, the huge leaves are edible. But to encourage the group to be active, the team aren't going to make them an easy snack. They're spreading the leaves all over the enclosure, in the hope the orangutans will climb to reach them. And they've one particular individual in mind.
With Tuan, he's not the biggest one in our group, shall we say, that's into his climbing. He's an old boy now, and he is getting quite lazy sometimes on the floor, not so excited to sort of climb up really high to get his food, and he'll be happy with the food that's kind of closer to the floor or falls down from the others. So I imagine when Tuan comes out, the first thing he'll probably do is grab one of these and have a big go at it with eating it. If he likes it, I'm sure he probably will. If Tuan doesn't like eating it, I don't think the rest of them will either. But as I say, it's a new thing to them, so it'll be quite exciting to see what they all do with it.
James opens the slide to let the group out. Awan is first to the apparatus and on the lookout for food. At 10 years old, she's maturing and fast becoming a young adult, but she still has a playful side. With 3 other females in the group, she's had plenty of role models to look up to. Ame, Lucky, and Roro appear to have put past differences aside and are getting along a lot better. The group is led by Tuan, thought to be around 38 years old. He's been at Monkey World for more than 20 years, having arrived from the Pingtung Rescue Center in Taiwan. He can be a bit lazy, which is why James and the team try to entice the whole group to climb for their food. But young Hujan is sabotaging their efforts. Not sure what to make of the large green leaves, he's throwing them to the ground. Where they're eventually received by Tuan, who then makes short work of the prickly stems.
So orangutans are obviously built to deal with quite hard, spiky plants. There's lots of spiky plants in the rainforest. Their skin is much tougher than human skin. So Tuan's doing real natural behaviours here with the gunnera. He's ripping off all of the outside with his teeth, getting to that core and then munching it up, just like they would do in the wild. So it's really good for him, watching him do natural behaviours here at the moment, yeah.
Tuan's enthusiasm confirms for the others that the giant leaves are good to eat. However, Ame has different ideas, opting to make a nest with the leaves in her favourite location. Awan still isn't sure. She looks to Tuan for guidance and perhaps a few scraps. But orangutans aren't keen on sharing.
They're quite selfish animals when it comes to food, really. The only time you see orangutans socialising in the wild is when there's a big glutton of fruit. Happens more so in Sumatra than over in Borneo. So Awan being a little bit younger, she probably hasn't got quite as tough skin as the adults in the group. So what she's doing is waiting for the adults to strip it off, and then she's going in there to try and grab a bit for herself. So quite clever and sneaky of her, really, getting out of the hard work. So we'll keep on watching her throughout the day. She might get to strip it at some point, but I think her technique's a little bit more cleverer in that way that she's doing it at the moment.
It may work with the females, but Awan has a way to go before she can fool Tuan into sharing his food. Watching the group tuck into nourishment from an unusual source has been an interesting exercise for the team. And there's enough left over to provide a shelter for a little nap. It's a new day at the park, and the trio of spider monkeys are in for a challenging treat this morning. Toby is placing large hanging feeders in their enclosure. The team have successfully used these in the past with the capuchins and the nursery orangutans. But the three spider monkeys aren't known for their enthusiasm when it comes to trying something new.
Our three can be a bit lazy sometimes, particularly Pumpkin. She likes her food very much, so we're hoping that the motivation of getting the food and will make her sort of do a bit of work and display some natural behaviours, really. And it'll be interesting to see how they react, really.
The group have been together for many years and generally get on well. But when it comes to food, there's a strict hierarchy.
Pumpkin is very much dominant, and when it comes to food, she is effectively a hoover. She will demolish everything, which is why we try and put it in enrichment, particularly in the morning. Otherwise, she will come out and eat it all before the boys even get a sniff. Flint is next in line, but because he's generally scared of everything, it takes him a while to come in. So that gives Hickory a chance to come and have a look as well. So we've got the 3 boards, so I'm hoping by spreading them out, hopefully that will keep them engaged for longer. So hopefully it'll be more of a challenge for them.
The slides to the outdoor enclosure are opened, and the trio quickly head through the tunnel. But if the spider monkeys are anticipating easy pickings this morning, they're in for a surprise. Toby's trying to find that fine balance, keeping them busy and active and motivated enough to attempt the hanging boards, while not over-challenging them in the knowledge that spider monkeys don't have the longest attention span. To this end, he's made sure retrieving the rewards from the Kongs isn't too difficult. Spider monkeys are perfectly adapted to life in the trees. They have long limbs and a prehensile tail, which, like the woolly monkeys, acts as a 5th limb. It means their hands and feet are free to manipulate food from otherwise hard-to-reach places. They eat a mainly fruit and leaf-based diet. Today's breakfast is aimed at encouraging plenty of natural behaviours. Hickory, the old man of the group, tends to hang around picking up food the other 2 have dropped.
Hickory hasn't really had a go yet. He's been over and had a laugh at them. But to be honest, Hickory has to police the enclosure, really, and he's been quite busy telling everyone off and making sure everyone knows their place, really. But I'm sure at some point, particularly once the other 2 have gone, that he'll go and have an investigate and find some bits and pieces. So, yeah, that's not really a surprise with Hickory. That's sort of what we expect from him.
As usual, Pumpkin is at the front of the queue for food, monopolising the boards. She's dominant in this trio and loves to get stuck in. But with plenty of Kong boards spread around the enclosure, she can't get to all of them first. Flint is also fired up. Perfectly balanced and suspended, he's definitely got a liking for honey.
It's gone really well. It's definitely something we can use again. We're seeing some really good natural sort of behaviours, and Pumpkin and Flint are both suspending themselves completely by their tails, and then they're having to use sort of the muscles in their arms and legs and their core to sort of balance themselves because the boards move as well. So, yeah, it's really good.
The feeders have proved to be a hit and been an excellent whole body and mind workout for the spider monkeys. They're certain to make a reappearance at the Spider Monkey House in the future. With the season starting to change, and the days getting shorter and colder, many of the park's primates are spending more of their time in the warmth and comfort of their houses. For the primate care staff, it's important to encourage the animals outside for fresh air and to burn off some energy. Today, they hope to persuade the park's 2 Saki monkeys, Desmond and Chloe, out into their enclosure. Elle's tactic is to put out some freshly cut browse laden with tiny crab apples. They're high in antioxidants, and an excellent source of fibre and vitamin C. It might also appeal to the third member of the group, Loki the marmoset.
Obviously, common marmosets and Sakis wouldn't be found naturally together in the wild, but they make a really good group. The two Sakis are a little bit older now, so they're a little bit slower, and Loki's kind of like the crazy young one in the group that they've adopted. They seem to get on pretty well.
Despite the age and mobility difference, Elle is confident the two Sakis will get their share of today's treat.
Chloe is turning 30 this year, so she's really old. However, she will give it a good go. She'll probably go for the branches that are quite closer to the platforms, whereas Desmond is probably going to go for the more challenging ones because he's younger, he's got more of the ability to stretch and grab.
Elle opens up and Loki is straight into the enclosure, keen to explore and check out anything new. His first move is to start gouging into the fresh bark to release the sap. Then he scent marks the branches, claiming them as his territory. Saki monkeys and marmosets, like humans, have colour vision, so they have no problem spotting the bright fruits amongst all the foliage. Chloe is the more adventurous of the pair. Straight away, she tucks into a juicy crabapple. White-faced Saki monkeys eat mainly fruit. They have robust incisors and canines, allowing them to break through tough skins and shells. Their diet also consists of seeds, nuts, leaves, and insects. The pair are devoted to each other, and Desmond is very protective of his mate. Wherever she goes, he follows. They're never apart for long. The enclosure has been adapted to accommodate the elderly Sakis, but still has plenty for a lively and energetic marmoset to enjoy.
The enclosure is really well built for the both of them. We've got some really high branches, we've got some low branches and platforms dotted around the place. And not just that, some ladders to make it easier for our old Sakis to get around in comparison to Loki, who can jump through the branches.
The trio are savouring today's treat, and the team plan to leave the branches in place to give them the opportunity to forage and enjoy the browse for as long as they like. Every so often, the park receives unusual donations from the public, and the primate care team do their best to put them to good use. Today, Donna's using her initiative to find something fun to do with a donated child's play pit. Her solution? Filling it with hundreds of pine cones to entertain one of the Capuchin groups.
We're going to mix some food in with that. I'm going to give it to Kids Range Group. It's pretty simple, very natural, encourages foraging behaviour, so hopefully they're going to really like it. So these are just pine cones that have naturally fallen, so they're going to have all sorts of bugs and creepy crawlies and stuff in them as well. They've actually been lying around for quite a while now, so they'll not only get the food, but they'll get whatever else they can find as well.
Donna is adding some bananas into the mix, including the skins, which the Capuchins also like to eat.
The Capuchins are really notorious for just chewing their food and then spitting out all the skin and bits like that, so they don't actually get a lot of fibre in their diet. So when they do eat the banana skin, it's really good for them.
The play pit is ready, and the Capuchins are let into the enclosure. There are only 6 in this group, and they're led by Gizmo, the only male. He's attracted by the play pit straight away and starts to forage enthusiastically. The rest of the troop are females. 4 of them, Sophia, Ginger, Maddie and Maggie, were rescued along with 84 others from a Chilean laboratory in 2008. Chuck was a victim of the British pet trade and arrived at the park 3 years ago. Like Gizmo, she was being kept in appalling conditions in a totally inadequate outdoor space. She had just one tiny lamp to keep her warm in extremely cold conditions, a poor diet, and no companionship. She arrived at Monkey World with little knowledge of how to be a Capuchin. but her turnaround has been remarkable.
All of her behaviours have really come on leaps and bounds. She really didn't know how to act like a capuchin at all when she first came. Even things that we take for granted with our guys, like urine washing and anointing behaviours with things like chilies and onions. She would just sit there looking at the others like, what are you doing? Whereas now you give her an onion and she absolutely loves it. She gets right in there, chews it up and gets it all over her body.
The girls have all hung back while Gizmo tucks in. But now it's their turn, and they're all keen to forage. Maddie is the dominant female. She searches for any banana left by Gizmo before an insect catches her eye. Got it! Capuchins are problem solvers, able to manipulate objects with their hands very much like humans. The pine cones are a perfect challenge, and they're all busy foraging, with Gizmo getting more than his fair share.
I think once he realised that there was banana in there, he's now having a whale of a time. The girls are probably going to be a little bit reluctant to go over whilst Gizmo's there because he can be a little bit unpredictable sometimes. But hopefully he'll get bored and then give everyone else a little go in a minute.
The play pit has been a success, replicating natural foraging behaviours. It's given the 6 capuchins something to think about and kept them stimulated and interested. And in the coming days, they can rummage to their heart's content. The climate in Dorset, where the park is located, can be unpredictable, particularly in the colder, wetter months. It's a tough job persuading the primates to keep busy and active outdoors, especially when their houses are regulated to a cosy 20 degrees. Today, Hananya's troop are making the most of the plentiful, comfy bedding. If there's a spare blanket to hand, Patricia will normally find it. High-ranking Simon is happy hanging around, watching Shamak and Arthur getting rid of some pent-up energy and having fun. But most of the time indoors is spent grooming and strengthening bonds. The 18 chimps who make up the group have outside access at all times during the day. When there's a break in the weather, some are tempted outdoors. Leader Hananya isn't bothered by the rain. Being outside sometimes offers a bit of peace and quiet. As the alpha male, he likes to undertake regular patrols around the enclosure to make sure the territory is safe for his troop. And if there's a scuffle, it's his job to step in and sort it out. Chimps are intelligent and need plenty to keep them occupied and stimulated. Occasional fights are inevitable, and today Zeynep and Evelyn are having a squabble, with everyone else beginning to get involved. Chimp quarrels are often over quickly. Then their bonds need to be reaffirmed. Sometimes being distracted by food helps. The cauliflowers on offer seem to do the trick. Although Simon is pushing his luck stealing a handful from Evelyn. And although it's warmed up outside, Patricia's taking no chances. Her blanket comes with her. It's been a few weeks since 2 of the park's woolly monkey troops swapped houses. Enzo's group of 6 moved into the top woolly house, and Lavar's troop went in the opposite direction. For Enzo's family, the large tree-filled outdoor enclosure is a big change. But it hasn't taken long to adapt.
They've had to not adapt fully, but they had to make some changes, getting used to climbing around this new environment. You do see them using their tails, I think probably a lot more than what they were there, because they are climbing up in the trees more rather than relying on, the wooden climbing frames, which has been really nice to see. So it is nice for them to have some change. It kind of changes up their life a little bit as well as they get used to a new house and, new tunnels and new places to go and explore.
Their previous home did have trees, but also included wooden structures with hosing for them to get around. This new territory has a stand of tall pine trees, providing a wonderful canopy for the troop to move through, just as they might in the wild.
They have these fantastic prehensile tails, which acts like a fifth limb. They've got this tail pad towards the tip of the tail, which acts like the palm of a hand, which means that they can grasp onto things. And you often will see them, walking along, and their tail just does its own little thing and grabs hold of something. Because instead of having now 4 limbs to climb with, you've now got a fifth limb, which can support their whole body weight as well. So you do see them climbing up and using these tails and exploring a lot more with these trees than what they were doing down there, which has been really nice.
The dominant male is Enzo, and he has 5 females to look after. Pakaya and her 3 daughters, 8-year-old Oriana, 3-year-old Enya, and Esme, who is a year younger. The final member of the group is adult female Isla. Life for her has come full circle. She's back where she started, having been born and raised in this very house and enclosure.
She probably knows all the good hideout spots, all the good places or good views to see around the park. She has grown in confidence. She's doing really well in the group, because we do have that strong family unit and Isla, but she's kind of seen as like the cool auntie of the group, and we do see her hanging out with the youngsters as well, which is really nice.
As well as exploring in the trees, there's plenty to keep the group happy and active. Lots of natural planting means excellent foraging opportunities, which they love. Enzo's troop is probably the most highly strung of the 4 woolly monkey families at the park. Their new home gives them lots of space and means they're not on top of each other all the time. The 2 youngsters, Esme and Enya, are certainly making the most of it.
Multiple times every day you will see those girls playing together, which is really sweet. And then having the 2 little young ones together, they're kind of sometimes off exploring together, which I think gives Pakaya, their mum, a bit of downtime away from the kids as they're up and exploring and enjoying themselves.
In the short time since the move, the group have embraced their new home and are enjoying all the benefits it has to offer. The autumn season brings changes for the park and its primate residents. And the colder, wetter days can be challenging for the care staff too. Their aim is to keep the animals in their charge busy and active, whatever the weather. So today, at Brian's chimpanzee group, lunchtime will be both seasonal and warming.
I know, Nari, I know. You're incredibly impatient.
Sean has some hot roasted pumpkins, and he's serving them up indoors to combat the miserable day outside. He's scattering the large orange fruits all around the chimp's indoor playroom.
It's this time of year where we've just had a load of pumpkin donations just after Halloween, and the chimps aren't the biggest fans of them usually, but we don't want to be ungrateful and wasteful, so we've just taken a load, cooked them all up, and we're just chucking a load in with Brian's and see what they make of them. Even if they don't eat them, I'm sure they'll have fun smearing them around and making a mess of the place for me to clean up after. But yeah, they're making a fair bit of noise for it, so I think they're excited.
The chimps can't wait.
You're in the lead, Nari. All right, ready?
As soon as Sean opens up, the eager group race through the tunnel to the playroom. Food can be a source of squabbles amongst chimps, but feeding alongside each other can also bring them together. Today, there are more than enough pumpkins to go round, so quarrels should be minimal. The chimps don't usually have large amounts of fruit in their diet because of the high sugar content. This bunch aren't always enthusiastic about pumpkins, but roasting brings out the sweetness, and they're warm too, so they should prove popular. Roasting the fruits also softens the flesh, which makes it perfect for chimps like Nari and, previously, Brian, who had their teeth knocked out when they were young and cruelly treated in the entertainment industry. Nari can only use her gums to chew, but has adapted her way of eating.
Yeah, this will definitely make a world of difference to her. So yeah, she'll just quite happily gum through this nice and softly and end up getting rounder, because even though she doesn't have any teeth, she's not exactly the skinniest chimp in the world, so she certainly does well with all the raw food she gets.
Brian lost his teeth when he was abused as a beach photographer's prop in Mexico. Fortunately for him, they were baby teeth, and following life-changing surgery at the park, his adult teeth grew through. Rodders and Ash were both born at the park and have a full set of healthy teeth. Today, they're putting them to good use. Lulu has a different disability, but one she too has overcome. She lost her arm as a youngster when her mother bit it and the limb became infected. But she's adapted well. To compensate for the chilly weather, she takes a blanket outside, along with a lunch of pumpkins and leeks, nimbly climbing a pole with her one arm and feet to eat in peace. The newest member of the group is Kangu. He arrived along with his mum Sasha from Buenos Aires Zoo in Argentina last year. Following fraught and lengthy attempts at introductions, the pair were separated and are now settling in their respective groups. Sasha now lives at Bart's and has made some close friends. Her son Kangu is well established with his new family and has become really close to leader Brian. Wherever he goes, Kangu can be found close by. His support has given Brian more confidence as leader too. Kangu has also developed a friendly, playful relationship with Rodders, who can be tricky. With the weather brightening, more of the group have taken their pumpkins outside. The roasted fruits have been a success, leaving them happy and satiated in the sunshine. Keeping the primates at the park interested and motivated at mealtimes can be challenging. The primate care staff do their best to liven up the animals' day, but it doesn't always work. A few weeks ago, the park's pair of patas monkeys snubbed an offering of sunflower heads laden with healthy seeds. They showed little interest, leaving the team a bit deflated. But undeterred, today primate care staff member Finn is having another go with a different seasonal offering: whole pumpkins.
We have carved some holes in them for the patas, just a kind of different way of displaying their food for them in the morning. We've had some lovely pumpkin cooked up, so we've got the insides of a pumpkin here, which has been roasted. We've also got the beautiful carvings and some of their favourite treats, which are the Mario worms, which they absolutely adore, so hopefully it will be an exciting morning for them.
The primate care team take great care over the animals' diet. Food is tailored to each individual's needs and health, whether it's a diabetic chimp like Bart, or a primate missing a few teeth like one of today's recipients, elderly Penelope.
She has had quite a few teeth out now, so we do make sure any food that we do give her is manageable and she can obviously chew on it or consume it. So yeah, it's just a good way of also allowing them to be patas monkeys, but within captivity instead of the wild.
Finn opens up the slide. Mr. P is first out, soon followed by Penelope. Mr. P is younger than his partner and heads straight across to inspect the large fruits, spotting the grubs inside. Penelope is less enthusiastic. She used to be the more dominant of the pair when they first arrived at the park, although in the wild, that's the role of the male. Now, Mr. P tucks in first, and he's certainly enjoying today's breakfast, going from one pumpkin to another. Plucking the grubs and seeds from the pumpkin flesh requires great dexterity and hand-eye coordination. Mr. P has no problem. But Penelope has a cataract in her left eye. Today's enrichment will help the team monitor how well she's managing and how much she can and can't see. No such issue for Mr. P, as he moves on to his third pumpkin. Penelope eventually tries the pumpkins too, eating some of the soft flesh.
I think that Mr. P is definitely enjoying himself. He came running straight out and was definitely curious to all of the new things that have been put up around the enclosure. He's using those foraging skills to look inside of each pumpkin, figure out what's in them first before he chooses which delicacy he would want. Yeah, it's been 10 out of 10 and thumbs up.
Having proved more popular than sunflower heads, the pumpkins will be left for a few days, so the patas can keep enjoying the tasty flesh and seeds. That's if Mr. P doesn't knock them all off first. The sun is out on a lovely autumn day, and the park's 3 spider monkeys are sunbathing in one of their favourite spots, an outside tunnel. The trio are about to be given an unusual fruit they haven't sampled before.
Does that look delicious?
Medlars.
Yeah? They've come over and everybody's had a good look, so yeah, I think they'll be quite excited to see what these are. They've never seen them before.
Katie is skewering the fruit on the trees and shrubs in the enclosure to encourage natural feeding behaviour and persuade the trio to use their bodies as they would in the wild. It's known as suspensory feeding.
They're going to have to forage around, they're going to have to climb a little bit and try and get hold of them.
The medlar fruits look like a cross between an apple and rosehip. But what will the 3 spider monkeys make of them?
OK, so...
Female pumpkin is first in. She carefully examines one of the fruits on a branch. She's picky. Some are more ripe than others, and she tries another. That's not right either. Hanging from her long prehensile tail, she reaches down for another fruit. In the wild, spider monkeys are known to eat more than 250 species of fruit, which makes up more than half of their varied diet. Flint is also on the lookout for a juicy, ripe medlar. He's one of 2 males in the group. The other is Hickory, who's quite a bit older.
They've been trying the foods. Some of them have stopped and ate them, so they're definitely intrigued, but I'm not sure it's their favourite food to date.
In the wild, spider monkey groups are led by males, but female pumpkin is in charge of this trio, and she's very food-focused. Hickory normally hangs back and lets his housemates get stuck in first, but today he joins in straight away.
He quite often likes novel things. When we give them new bits of enrichment, one of his first reactions is often to come over and laugh about it. He sometimes holds back a little bit when it comes to food. He'll let the other 2 investigate, and then he'll go over after once they've lost interest a little bit. So, yeah, he definitely seems to like the fact that it's something new going on.
All 3 spider monkeys now seem taken with the medlars, which have a flavour similar to apple puree mixed with citrus.
Pumpkin's making lots of happy noises. She's obviously enjoying the fact that there's new stuff going on. Yeah, so it's just kind of the noise she makes when she's happy. It's a very strange kind of noise, yeah. There's nothing else I can think of that sounds quite like a spider monkey happy noise.
Pumpkin, Flint and Hickory eventually have their fill and head back to their favourite spot to enjoy the sunshine. It's almost 2 months since Saki monkey Neva arrived from Combe Martin Wildlife Park in Devon as a companion for Desmond. It was a big move for the 6-year-old adult female, but she's settled in well, and her relationship with the park's male Saki is going from strength to strength.
She was quite nervous when she arrived, lots of weird sounds and noises for her to get used to. Even though she's zoo-bred animal, she was also a little bit nervous about the public. I think the window was just a bit closer than what she was used to. But now she's doing really, really well. She's settled in lovely. She's formed a really nice tight bond with Desmond now. We're starting to see lots of really lovely grooming sessions. We've got quite a lot of sun at the moment, so big sunbathing and grooming sessions happening. And she really doesn't care about her weird adoptive son, which is Loki the marmoset, who also lives in that enclosure.
Neva is very different from Desmond's former partner, Chloe, who was 30 years old when she passed away. This young female is confident and incredibly agile, particularly when navigating the ramps and branches in the outdoor enclosure. It's been a bit of an eye-opener for Desmond.
She's really curious, she's reaching around for leaves, she's looking at all of the blossoms and the buds and things that are coming through, and she's just really using the space. And I think Desmond is finding that a bit weird, that he's got a female that's sort of running here, there and everywhere, and he's got to keep up because he was used to a much more sedate lifestyle when Chloe was around.
The third member of the household, marmoset Loki, who doesn't get on well with other marmosets, is also benefiting from the arrival of the young newcomer. He's happier living with the Sakis than with others of his own kind. But the team were a bit concerned how he might take to the new lively female.
So Loki actually seems quite happy that there's a new female Saki. We've seen them coexist. They'll sort of eat in the same areas. They don't bother each other. But we didn't think there was much relationship there going on. But actually, when Chloe passed away, Loki was a bit out of sorts. He was a bit quiet. He was a bit weirded out by everything. I mean, he actually seems really, really relaxed. And I don't know whether it's having this sort of younger, energetic animal in the enclosure. He is bouncing around through foliage. He's playing. He's sort of here, there, and everywhere. And he seems to have a little bit of a new lease of life as well.
It's a positive result all round. Loki has his bounce back, and Desmond has a new love interest.
So we're just delighted that this has gone so well. Now we've managed to get him this young female, even if she's keeping on his toes a little bit. It's just absolutely wonderful. So couldn't be happier that we've got a loved up match.
It's a cold and frosty morning, but the sun is shining. And at Hananya's chimp enclosure, the group of 18 are outside making the most of it. They're a hardy bunch who love to be outdoors, although some, like Patricia, choose to wrap up against the cold. A warming treat could be just the thing to help ward off the chill of the day. Primate care staff member Emma has cooked up some pumpkins, and the troop are waiting in anticipation.
So these guys are getting a little bit excited and a little bit noisy because we are about to give them a nice feed of fresh cooked pumpkin, and they've got a little bit of onion in there as well. The pumpkin was amazingly donated to us, so it's a nice treat for them. It's something they don't get very often, and the fact that we can have it cooked means that they can have it nice and warm as well, so when they've got a frosty morning like today, it can just help them out, warm them up a little bit and make them feel a little bit good.
There's plenty to go around. The food is distributed from 2 towers to make sure everyone gets some, including the low rankers.
Good girl. Zainab! Oh, try again.
However, when Hananya is around, it's not always easy to grab a share.
These guys are quite good at knowing their names, so sometimes you can shout out and they'll understand that you're throwing it towards them. But yeah, we just try to spread it as far and wide as possible because we do have ones that, as you'll see, like to hoard a little bit, and then some that might only get 1 or 2 pieces.
Throwing out high-value food items at mealtimes is helpful at monitoring how the group are doing.
Good girl, Cherry.
There are 18 members of the troop, all with different personalities, and each with their own position in the hierarchy. It's led by Hananya, the dominant male, who's grown into his role over the years. He's ably backed up by other males like Simon. The dominant female is Johnny, a big, strong individual who's not afraid to throw her weight around to get what she wants, especially at mealtimes. Some of the lower rankers must wait their turn when it comes to food. Today, Zainab has missed out on the pumpkin, but she's gathered plenty of raw onion instead. Canny Patricia sits somewhere in the middle of the hierarchy, and yet still manages to grab whatever food she wants. She's a savvy chimp who always has a plan at mealtimes. Evelyn approaches Hananya in the hope he'll give up a little piece of pumpkin. She's out of luck, but his best and oldest friend Shamak is looked on more favourably. The pair were rescued together from Israel in 1996. They were smuggled from the wild for the illegal pet trade and have been extremely close ever since. Fortune also smiles on Hananya's daughter Thelma when it comes to mealtimes. Her position means very few will try to steal from her. Emma has tried her best to make sure everyone has something to eat.
So then we'll find that any low rankers that didn't get very much of the pumpkin should hopefully get a decent amount of the onion, so they'll still get a decent bit of feed. We try to give them 2 different feeds at once because they can be quite picky, and if it is a really nice high value feed, the bigger ones are going to try and hoard it.
Hananya's chimp troop is the largest of the 4 at Monkey World. And like all chimp groups, there are occasional squabbles.
It can be high tension at points, but they tend to get through it really well. And I've heard it said before that 50% of chimp life is fighting and the other half is making up. And it's very, very accurate with these guys. So half the time they're squabbling with each other and the other half of the time they're kissing, making up, grooming, cuddling. So it's a nice sort of natural system for them to go through. And the fact that their hierarchy can change is quite nice and natural for them as well.
With breakfast done, time for some to burn it off. And for others, like Thelma, to just relax and enjoy the sunshine. It's been a few months since the park had a big woolly monkey swap around, which involved 17 individuals either moving house or joining different groups. It's gone well, and they're all settled into their new homes and families. Chippy's troop now live at the top woolly house, and today they're getting an autumnal surprise. With the weather getting colder, the primate care staff have decided to give them breakfast indoors. They've collected bags and bags of autumn leaf fall from around the park and are spreading a thick carpet of leaves around the playroom. Hidden amongst it, today's breakfast.
We have put a scatter of nuts in them, so they've had some almonds and some walnuts. And the idea is that when we let these guys in here, they're going to go crazy. They're going to go foraging for all of the nuts. The leaves are a really good sensory enrichment for them as well.
Along with the selection of nuts, Molly is also providing medlar fruit, something they rarely have.
With new things, they get really excited, particularly if it's fruit, because it's going to smell really tasty. And I'm sure as soon as one of them bites into them, they will set off the entire group with lots of trilling, which is a happy noise they make. And this will communicate with the group that it's really tasty and that they need to eat all of them if they find them.
With natural bugs also hiding amongst the leaves, it promises to be an exciting mealtime. The group are let into the playroom and, as predicted, there's lots of happy trilling. And foraging begins at once. There are 7 woolies in the group, 5 females and 2 adult males, led by 24-year-old Chippy. He's the only member of this troop who wasn't born at the park. Ava is the dominant female. At 12 years old, she's already mum to daughters Catalina and the youngest in the troop, 2-year-old Xena. 2 more girls, Enya and Esme, and 11-year-old adult male Zavi, make up the 7. Today's enrichment is proving popular with all of them. At the park, vegetables make up the majority of the primates' diet, so the medlar fruit is something different and a real treat. The leaves encourage the woolies to forage and hunt for the food, and it's also something fun to keep them engaged. The vast amount of leaves slows them down, meaning they have to search for food as they might in their natural environment. And it gives the woolly monkeys a perfect opportunity to use their 5th limb.
Woolly monkeys are one of 3 species that have a fully prehensile tail, so they can suspend their entire body weight just from their tails. So you will see a few of them using their tails and dipping down into the leaves. That's the purpose of it, so that in the wild, if there are any hard-to-reach foods, such as like in the dense bushes or just lower canopies of the trees, they'll use their tails to dive down and receive those. So you'll see some of them doing that, and you'll probably see the younger ones, such as Xena, just diving into the leaves, as it's a fun, playful game for them, just like it is with any other animal with a big pile of leaves.
Delving into the leaves and searching for their food has kept the woolies busy, using their minds and bodies and socialising as they would in the wild.
We've had every single individual inside at some point foraging through the leaves, chasing one another, throwing them up. Yeah, we've seen everyone having a great time, even Chippy, who's the dominant male of the group, who typically isn't always involved in enrichment or playing with the younger ones, but most definitely he was today.
Once the youngsters have had their fill, it's time for a bit of fun. Enya and Xena enjoy a play fight, with the added safety net of a cushion of leaves if someone takes a tumble.